Boy, we stirred up a hornet's nest over the last few days over the Hastings Regional Council's decision, absolutely crazy, in my opinion, decision to give non-elected in any way kids, youth council members, voting rights on some subcommittees and probably pay them as well. We had the mayor on and she really didn't even understand the threat that it caused to democracy. And yesterday we had District Councillor Simon Nixon, who just said it was madness, and I tended to agree with him. We've been trying to get Simeon Brown on this, haven't we, Ben? And he's been a little bit, well, as people says, he's been busy, school holidays and all. But one politician has come out and said, well, what have they said? Let's ask him. Simon Court, the ACT MP, joins us now. Simon, welcome to the platform. Lovely to have you with us.
Good morning, Sean, and good morning to platform listeners.
All right. Now, if we were to apply the Hastings District Council's rather strange philosophy, I guess all those youth parliamentarians that turn up to Parliament each year with all their school badges on, they'd all be voting in Parliament or on select committees, wouldn't they?
Well, it would make a mockery of what we call democracy. You know, those youth parliamentarians are passionate young people who are really interested in democracy and the process of government, but they're not elected. Yeah, this concept of having an unelected representative is an oxymoron. They're not accountable to ratepayers or to voters. And, you know, there's a fundamental principle that was a founding principle for at least one great nation I know of, which is no taxation without representation.
Bang on.
These young people will be voting for things that are nice to have because they're not required to pay for it. They're not renters. They're not ratepayers. They don't have skin in the game yet.
The Hastings District Mayor, she told me, she insisted this is all legal. We've checked it out with local government New Zealand. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Well, unfortunately for the mayor, while she might have got a tick from her legal advisors, it's actually the voters of the Hastings District who are going to have the final say on this. The 7 councillors and the mayor's casting vote voted to allow these young people to have a say over planning, over strategy, over district development, over cyclone recovery initiatives, for goodness sakes. The voters are going to have their say at local government elections next year.
Okay, but they can't stop it now? Because really, isn't this a thing where central government should step in and say, oh, this is just so friggin' crazy, we're going to stop you in your tracks?
Well, the challenge we've got is local government around New Zealand is really struggling to deliver their core responsibilities to maintain infrastructure, make sure that the pipes aren't leaking and the wastewater treatment plants aren't overflowing. And, you know, government's focus has been on fixing that problem. And so just a few months ago, Simeon Brown did announce that we're going to repurpose the focus of the Local Government Act, going to have performance benchmarks for local councils, and we're going to investigate options to limit councils' expenditure on nice-to-haves. But that does require a law change, and the threshold for putting in the commissioner is quite high, as we saw with Tauranga.
Look, Simon, while I've got you here, another controversy kind of bubbling away that I saw on social media yesterday. Damien O'Connor, the Labour MP, has retweeted, I understand, a post, I'm not sure who from, I didn't fall too far down this rabbit hole, that appears to say that the October the 7th, and we're coming up to the anniversary of the October the 7th terrorist attacks by Hamas on Israel, he seems to have reposted something that suggests that those attacks were justified.
Well, he doesn't just suggest it. Damien O'Connor, who's Labour's Associate Foreign Affairs spokesperson, has a long history of anti-Semitic comments, and his social media is full of them. What he posted was a claim that Palestinians have every right to do whatever they did on October 7th. Well, here's what we know Hamas-led Palestinians did. Yeah, they went to Israel, they massacred hundreds of young people at a music festival, they killed over 1,100 people, they burned people in their homes, committed awful atrocities, a pogrom, and kidnapped a whole bunch of people, many of whom are still being held in dungeons under Gaza. So Damien O'Connor seemed to think that was okay. Eventually he took his tweet down yesterday, but he hasn't apologised. And my question is, not for Damien O'Connor, but for Labour leader Chris Hipkins, will you ask this Damien O'Connor, who, if there was a change of government, could end up as New Zealand's foreign minister, would you ask him to apologise? Or do you think it's okay what he said?